You stepped into the depths, unearthing parts of yourself that lay hidden in shadow. You embraced the chaos, and yet, in the aftermath, a strange sensation lingers, a hollow echo in the chambers of your heart. You expected liberation, but instead, you find yourself adrift in a sea of numbness, where emotions feel muted and colors fade into gray. You reach out, but the world feels like a distant mirage, shimmering just out of reach. You've done everything right, yet something remains untouched, a flickering flame buried beneath layers of disillusionment. What if this emptiness isn't a sign of failure? What if it's a warning? A whisper from the depths of your psyche. Carl Jung understood the struggle between light and shadow. So, what if this silence is not the end, but a crucial part of your journey? The desire for success, that relentless pursuit, has left you feeling like a ghost in your own life, an echo of who you thought you should be. This dissonance, this uncomfortable sensation that lingers in your chest, is a sign of transformation. It whispers that your old identity is collapsing, that the familiar paths you once walked are now overgrown with doubt. You've danced with the idea of spiritual bypassing, convinced that enlightenment comes wrapped in a bow, a neat package of bliss and certainty. Yet, here you are, standing in the ruins of what you thought was a solid foundation, feeling numb, confused, burned out. Consider for a moment that this is a necessary phase. It's a liminal space, a threshold between who you were and who you are becoming. Carl Jung spoke of the persona, that mask we wear to navigate the world, and how it can become a prison. What if this numbness, this unsettling confusion, is the moment when that mask begins to crack? The self you thought you had to be is shedding, revealing the raw, unfiltered essence of who you truly are beneath the layers of expectation and conditioning. Imagine for a moment standing in a forest, the trees towering around you, their leaves whispering secrets of the past. You've wandered here, seeking clarity, but the path is obscured. You feel lost, yet in that loss lies a beautiful paradox. This emptiness is not a sign of malfunction. It is a vital part of your rebirth. It's the quiet before the storm, the stillness before the awakening. It's the ancient cycle of death before rebirth, a theme woven into the fabric of existence. Look closely, and you might see that this confusion is an invitation. An invitation to peel away the layers, to confront the shadows lurking in the corners of your mind, the fear of judgment, the pressure to conform, the relentless hustle culture that promised fulfillment through achievement. All of it is part of the story you've been told. But what if the real narrative lies beyond the noise? What if you're being emptied, not to be left wanting, but to be filled with something authentic and real? As you navigate this space, recognize that you are not alone in your struggle. Many have stood where you stand, feeling the weight of expectations lifting, only to discover a deeper truth waiting to be embraced. The awakening you seek is not the arrival of joy, but the acceptance of your own humanity. It's the recognition that the journey inward is fraught with challenges, yet it is in those very challenges that you will find the seeds of your rebirth. So, allow yourself to be in this moment. Embrace the numbness, the confusion, the disarray. They are not signs of weakness, but markers of an incredible inner transformation. You are shedding the old, making way for the new, and in that sacred space of emptiness, you will find the whispers of possibility waiting to guide you toward the life you were always meant to live. The numbness you experience is not a failure, it's the fertile ground for transformation, where the seeds of your true essence lie dormant, waiting for the right moment to sprout. Think of the caterpillar, confined within a cocoon, surrendering to the darkness. It is in that stillness, that inward retreat, where the metamorphosis occurs. You are in a cocoon of your own making, wrapped in the layers of your past, shedding the weight of who you thought you had to be. The pain you feel is the tension of growth, the struggle of the chrysalis as it breaks free into the light. Jung believed that acknowledging our shadows, the parts we hide, and fear, leads us to a greater understanding of ourselves. This journey asks you to sit with the discomfort, to feel it fully without the compulsion to escape. In this space of vulnerability, you begin to remember who you truly are beyond the roles you've played. The silence you encounter is not emptiness. It is a sacred pause, an invitation to listen. You may feel as if you're wandering in a fog, but remember, you are not lost. You are in between. In this liminal space, the old self begins to fade, and the new self is not yet visible, but it is being crafted. This is the crucible of transformation, where the lead of your experiences is turned into the gold of wisdom. Allow yourself to feel the weight of the night. It is a prelude to dawn. The ego, that protective layer built to navigate life, is having its funeral, and from its ashes, your true self begins to rise. This is a rebirth, a reclamation of the parts of you that have been silenced. As you navigate through this storm, find solace in the ancient wisdom that whispers through the ages. The myths of heroes and journeys remind us that trials often lead to enlightenment. The hermit in the cave, the alchemist in the lab, each depiction serves as a reminder that the darkest nights can give birth to the brightest days. Hold on to this truth: the pain you experience might not signal the end, but rather a threshold to something profound. The door to your inner sanctum is opening, and though it may feel daunting, it is also filled with the promise of renewal. You are awakening to a deeper awareness, a knowing that transcends the chaos. This is your invitation to explore the depths of your being, to integrate the shadows with the light. You are not merely surviving, you are transforming. Embrace the process. For beyond the cocoon lies a butterfly, ready to take flight. In this moment of recognition, breathe deeply, feel the pulse of life within you, guiding you toward wholeness. You are not just in a phase of unraveling, you are on the cusp of remembering your true essence, the authentic self that has always been waiting for its moment to emerge. But why does it still feel so heavy? What is this invisible weight pressing against your spirit? This is the moment to turn inward, to illuminate the shadows that dwell beneath the surface of your consciousness. Carl Jung taught us that within each of us lies a shadow, the repressed self, a collection of traits, traumas, and truths we have pushed into the darkness. This shadow is not merely a source of discomfort, it is a vital part of your psyche, a force that silently sabotages your motivation and clarity, obscuring your path to healing. You may feel emotional numbness, a chronic fatigue that saps your energy, or perhaps a sense of disconnection from your desires. It's as if you've buried your fire to survive, but in doing so, you've forgotten where you placed it. This numbness isn't the absence of emotion, it is too much emotion, locked away behind walls of fear and shame. The very things that once fueled your spirit have become a source of confusion, leading to self-sabotage and an endless cycle of doubt. Look closely at this shadow. It whispers the truths you've denied, the fears you've hidden, and the ambitions you've stifled. It thrives in the recesses of your mind, feeding on your insecurities and past wounds, waiting for a moment to break free. The shame you feel is not a reflection of your worth. It is a manifestation of the struggles within. You may be afraid of success, fearing it will bring new expectations, or terrified of failure, which feels like the validation of your deepest insecurities. This isn't just fog that clouds your vision. It's memory, the echoes of your past seeking to return through the cracks of your carefully managed life. The weight you feel is not merely a burden but a call to confront your hidden self. It is an invitation to recognize the parts of you that have been left in the shadows, longing for acknowledgement and integration. As you stand on the precipice of self-discovery, understand that this journey is not about erasing the shadow but embracing it. The more you engage with these hidden aspects, the more clarity you will find. The chaos within is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to your complexity. It reflects the richness of your experiences, the depth of your emotions, and the resilience that lies within. Take a moment to breathe, to feel the weight of this recognition. You are not lost. You are in the midst of transformation. The shadows within you are calling for attention, yearning to be understood. In acknowledging them, you begin to reclaim your power, to weave together the fragmented pieces of your identity. This is merely the beginning, a gentle awakening to the inner split that shapes your choices and your sense of self. Embrace this moment, for it is the doorway to a deeper understanding of who you are and who you can become. The journey ahead may be daunting, but it promises a profound revelation of your truest essence. Are you ready to explore this path further? This battle is not between good and evil, but rather a fragmentation of identity, a division that keeps you feeling stuck. The ego, that familiar voice in your head, clings to the old rules of survival, success, and performance. It cradles your past, reminding you of the identity you've built, the mask you wear to navigate the world. Yet, amidst this chaos, a quieter voice emerges, a whisper from your true self, beckoning you towards new truths that are unclear but undeniable. These two parts of you are now in conflict, neither fully in control. You want to move forward, but something holds you back, like roots buried deep in the soil, reluctant to let go. Your body remains anchored in the present, yet your soul seems to wander somewhere else, yearning for a freedom it can barely articulate. You long for silence, yet feel anxious in stillness, as if the quiet amplifies the noise of your thoughts. This tension echoes the struggles articulated by thinkers like Carl Jung, who explored the delicate balance between persona and self, illustrating the crisis that often precedes true integration. Nietzsche spoke of the Apollonian versus Dionysian struggle, a dance between order and chaos, where the abyss of authenticity lurks just beyond your grasp. Gabor Maté delved into the divide between the true self and the adapted self, a split often born from trauma, shaped by experiences that demanded you to conform, to adapt, to survive. The emotional cost of this split is heavy. You may feel exhausted, as if being pulled into directions, your energy siphoned by the tug-of-war within. Self-doubt creeps in, whispering, which part is really me? You grapple with shame for regressing into old behaviors that no longer serve you, feelings of guilt for not having fully embraced the person you are becoming. Grief settles in, mourning the version of yourself that is fading, the comfort of the known that slips through your fingers. Yet, this inner division is not a sign of dysfunction. It is the breaking of an inner shell, a necessary phase of your evolution. You are not failing. You are mid-transformation, navigating the complex terrain of awakening. This emotional turbulence is sacred, a rite of passage that many before you have faced. It is in this painful tension that you find the doorway to alignment, a path toward integrating the fragmented pieces of your identity. As you stand at this crossroads, recognize the value in both sides of your split. The ego has served you, protecting you and guiding you through life's challenges. The emerging self, however, holds the promise of authenticity and deeper fulfillment. Embrace this duality with compassion, for both parts are essential in your journey toward wholeness. This is the moment to acknowledge the war within, to sit with the discomfort, and to honor the complexity of your experience. The path ahead may be murky, but it is also ripe with possibility. Prepare yourself for the reconstruction phase that follows, where the fragments of your identity will weave together into a tapestry richer and more vibrant than before. Embrace this process, for it is here that you will truly come to know yourself. In the words of Carl Jung, this moment of fragmentation is the soul's call to bring the unconscious into conscious awareness. It is a sacred dance, where the ego and the self begin to converse, not to fight. The chaos you feel is the material from which the self crafts meaning. This is psychological alchemy, transforming pain into presence, confusion into inner reorganization. Think of your experience as a house undergoing renovation. The walls may be torn down, the floor may feel unstable, but every piece of debris is a reminder that something new is being built. Each pang of discomfort signifies growth. It is a sign that you are composting old selves into a fertile soul. Apathy is not a dead end. It is the soil where a new set of values is forming, waiting to be nurtured. Guilt becomes a signal from the soul, guiding you away from false roles and toward authenticity. Emptiness. That is merely the space where truth will grow, a sanctuary for your emerging self. This transformation may feel uncomfortable, even chaotic. No transformation happens in comfort. Growth often wears the mask of grief, and when the soul reorganizes you, it can feel like falling apart. But remember, this is not a sign of failure, it's a deeper form of coming together. You are experiencing the alchemy that Jung spoke of, where the light cannot exist without the shadow. For Gabor Maté, the journey is about allowing the true self to emerge from beneath layers of adaptation and expectation. And for Nietzsche, embracing the full human experience, both light and shadow, is the path to true power. This is your invitation to honor that complexity within yourself. You may feel lost amidst the noise, but you are merely remodeling the architecture of your inner world. Embrace the discomfort as evidence of healing in motion. Each moment spent in this sacred chaos is a step toward greater clarity and alignment. As you navigate through this process, remember that integration is slow and non-linear. It requires patience and compassion. You are not alone in this journey, as many have walked this path before you, feeling the weight of their shadows while striving toward the light. Prepare yourself, for emerging from this tumultuous phase will bring forth new values, clarity, and alignment. The fragments of your identity will begin to weave together, forming a vibrant tapestry that reflects your true essence. You are on the brink of transformation, and it is time to embrace the beauty of your unfolding journey. Let the alchemy of your inner world guide you toward a deeper understanding of who you are meant to become. You're not returning to normal. You're building a new normal that honors your truth. The life you were chasing doesn't fit anymore. That's not a failure, it's an invitation to explore something deeper. Identity, as you know it, often gets shaped by external factors, roles, achievements, and the approval of others. This ego-built identity can feel constricting, like a costume that doesn't quite fit. But now you're entering a realm where identity is fluid, authentic, and aligned with your soul. You're not just piecing together a facade, you're designing a home for your soul. Instead of wearing masks, you're learning to become transparent, allowing your true essence to shine through. What once fueled you no longer does. Now you're fed by what feels true. This new identity is not about conforming to old scripts, but about resonance and presence. It's a creative process, a journey of self-discovery that invites you to redefine who you are at your core. As Carl Jung emphasized in his work on individuation, this is about becoming the self, a process that requires you to delve into the depths of your being and emerge transformed. Imagine saying no to relationships that demand performance. Instead, choosing connections that nourish your spirit. Picture leaving work that contradicts your values, seeking out pursuits that align with your authentic self. You may find yourself creating, resting, or serving not to prove your worth, but to express your unique essence. This shift is profound as you start feeling drawn to new hobbies, environments, or conversations without needing to justify them to anyone. This is what real freedom looks like, not chaos, but conscious creation. You're not reinventing yourself, you're revealing yourself, allowing the layers of societal expectations to peel away, making space for your true nature. As you navigate this transformative journey, remember, that it's not linear. There will be ups and downs, moments of clarity followed by confusion, but each step is deeply liberating. Connecting this to the legacies of thinkers like Jung and Nietzsche, you realize that this is a collective process of returning to authenticity and self-creation. It's about overcoming the constraints that have held you back and embracing the complexity of your experience. As you rebuild your identity, you're not just creating a new version of yourself, you're honoring the soul that has always been within you. As you prepare for this next chapter, where your new self begins to connect with the world again, consider how your newfound perspective will influence your purpose, service, and expression. Embrace this journey with compassion and courage, knowing that you are creating a life that is not only authentic but sustainable. The path ahead may be uncertain, but it is yours to walk, filled with endless possibilities and the promise of a deeper understanding of who you are and what you can become. As you step into this new phase, engagement with the world becomes a slower, deeper experience. You find yourself being more selective, but in a way that feels profoundly honest. It's less about proving your worth and more about participating in the rich tapestry of life. The self you've rebuilt now interacts with the collective, embodying the archetypal return of the hero, ready to share the wisdom you've gained on your journey. You speak more truthfully now, even if your voice shakes. Each word carries the weight of your authenticity. In your work or creativity, you create without asking for permission, channeling the essence of who you are into every stroke of the brush or keystroke. You walk away from roles that no longer honor you, shedding the skin of past expectations, feeling the peace and simplicity, no longer hungry for applause. Your life is becoming art, not argument. You've stopped asking, "What do they think of me?" and started asking, "What wants to move through me?" This shift invites a new relational pattern. You attract people who resonate with your truth, allowing connections to blossom based on genuine understanding rather than performance. You let go of those who needed your facade, creating space for relationships that nurture your spirit. As the teachings of Carl Jung illuminate, the inner self now emerges to engage with the world, fostering a sense of belonging that transcends superficial interaction. Authenticity, as Gabor Maté suggests, becomes the foundation for your relationships, creating bonds that are real and nourishing. Friedrich Nietzsche would remind you that life is a canvas for self-expression, a space where your spirit can roam free unencumbered by the chains of conformity. You are no longer reacting to life. You are responding with presence. Each moment offers an opportunity to engage with the world around you in a way that honors your journey. You become a beacon of light, illuminating the path for others while allowing your truth to be the medicine it was always meant to be, but only if you share it. This is where healing becomes transmission. As you navigate this sacred engagement, remember that the process is a dance, a series of gentle movements between your inner landscape and the outer world. You're not just existing, you're living with intention, letting the currents of life guide you towards soulful participation. This is the essence of Step 9, where spiritual and symbolic life begins to unfold. Here, inner guidance becomes your compass, synchronicity your map, and soulful participation the journey itself. Embrace this calling, for the world is waiting for your light, your truth, and your presence. The adventure continues, leading you deeper into the heart of connection, where every interaction is a sacred expression of your newfound self. This is the realm of the symbolic life, a state where the veil of ordinary perception lifts, revealing a tapestry woven from the threads of archetypes and synchronicities. According to Carl Jung, this journey marks a profound evolution, where the literal fades away and the metaphorical emerges, beckoning you to explore its depths. In this space, life speaks in symbols, and each moment becomes an opportunity for reflection. It's not superstition, it's a profound form of psychological and spiritual intelligence. You may find that dreams bring emotional insights, revealing truths that linger just beneath the surface. Recurring symbols or numbers may mirror your internal shifts, as if the universe is winking at your awakening. Gut feelings are eyes, leading you to right actions that resonate with your soul's purpose, while art and nature seem to speak directly to your essence, echoing the truths you've longed to uncover. Navigating this symbolic life requires stillness and self-trust. It invites you to embrace the unknown, to feel deeply rather than analyze intellectually. As you connect with a deeper self beyond the ego, you start to perceive life's intricate patterns and rhythms. Jung reminds us, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are, and in this journey you begin to understand what that truly means. The symbolic life is a natural progression after individuation, where the unconscious becomes a creative partner in your existence. Here, the self begins to dialogue with life not through spreadsheets or plans, but through the language of symbols and feelings. You stop asking for signs, instead, you start seeing them everywhere. Events unfold not merely as logical occurrences, but as deeply felt experiences that resonate with your inner truth. Life transforms from a problem to solve into a poem waiting to be translated. This exploration is not passive, it is participatory and invites co-creation. The world around you speaks, urging you to respond not perfectly, but truthfully. You learn to trust the rhythms of your intuition and the wisdom of your gut, realizing that these inner guides are your allies in navigating the complexities of existence. You embrace the mystery, allowing the nuances of life to unfold without the need for concrete explanations. As you deepen your connection to the symbolic life, you begin to recognize its power to shape your contributions to the world. This journey is not just about personal growth, but also about how you express your truth and share your experiences. In the upcoming Step 10, you will be invited to take all that you've lived and share it creatively, truthfully, publicly, or privately. This expression is not performance, it is a sacred act of contribution, where you bring your unique voice into the world, illuminating the path for others as you embrace your legacy. The symbolic life is a profound calling, inviting you to live fully and authentically, guided by the whispers of your soul. Embrace this journey, for it holds the promise of deeper understanding and connection both to yourself and the world around you. You've traveled through the shadows, sat in the void, and listened to your soul's whispers. Each step has brought you closer to the essence of who you truly are. Now, as you emerge from this transformative journey, your deepest truth is ready to be shared, not as performance, but as presence. True contribution isn't about perfection or applause, it's about showing up fully, imperfectly, and consistently. Consider the ways this authentic expression can manifest. You might find yourself engaging in creative projects that reflect your soul's voice, pouring your heart into art, writing, or music that resonates with your journey. Perhaps you're drawn to healing and helping others through your lived experiences, sharing your insights in a way that uplifts and inspires. Teaching, mentoring, or even simply holding space for someone in need becomes a sacred act of service. Every act of everyday kindness, every moment of integrity in your relationships and work becomes a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your life. Carl Jung teaches us that individuation culminates in service to the collective. When the self becomes a bridge between inner and outer worlds, you contribute to a greater tapestry of existence. This aligns beautifully with the wisdom of Gabor Maté, who emphasizes the importance of compassionate presence and authenticity in community. Friedrich Nietzsche encourages us to embrace life as a creative act of becoming. As you step into this new phase, it's natural to encounter fears and blocks along the way. You may feel the weight of judgment, the sting of rejection, or the nagging doubt of not being enough, It's easy to resist vulnerability or to retreat back into the comfort of the familiar. But remember, your unique story, your lessons, and your gifts are needed now more than ever. When you step into your truth, you not only illuminate your own path but also light a way for others to follow. Legacy isn't about grandeur, it's about the ripples your presence creates. Each time you act from a place of authenticity, you contribute to a world that longs for genuine connection and understanding. Your actions, infused with presence and integrity, become a source of inspiration and hope. This isn't a finish line, it's a new beginning. Keep growing, keep expressing, and keep serving from the fullness of your awakened self. Embrace the beautiful complexity and nuance of your journey. As you continue to evolve, let each moment be an invitation to contribute your light to the world. You are an artist of your own life, weaving experiences into a rich tapestry of service and creativity. Allow your heart-led actions to become the legacy you leave behind, a testament to a life lived in authenticity and purpose. Step forward with courage and remember, the world is waiting for the unique expression that only you can offer.